Hello everybody, how's everybody doing? Just gonna play a little bit of Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 2. I already played Chapter 1 and it was fucking amazing. It was utterly fantastic. So I can't wait to finally go in and go on and play Chapter 2. Let's get it. Watanagashi, the most possibilities. How was your taste of life in Hinamizawa? By the way, I'm gonna butcher a lot of Japanese titles / names. A curse or a conspiracy. I believe you have fully enjoyed everything, everyone seeming suspicious. Here at last is no surprise attack, but a real, direct incident. Please enjoy it. The difficulty is lower than Onikakushi, but is extremely vicious. Here you go. Man, I can't wait. I just can't wait. Chapter 1 was so good. Chapter 1 was really good. And this is a Silent Hill F guy. I hope it's as good as the first one. Let's go. Gonna adjust some things. This is a work of fiction. Any resemblance to actual persons or organizations is highly coincidental. AD 1983, the early summer of the 85th year of the Shuwa era. Whatever. Higurashi When They Cry. The chirping of birds served as my alarm clock. Oh, that's bright. That's really bright. It's lingering more than I expected to be. The chirping of birds served as my alarm clock. Oh shit, okay. Huh? Wasn't today Sunday? Wasn't it basically my style to stay up late on Saturday and sleep through the morning on Sunday? Why was I waking up at this disgustingly wholesome hour? Back to sleep. Back to sleep. Okay, who's calling me? Kiichi, are you awake? You have a phone call. At that moment, the sound of my mother calling me from downstairs finally registered. Phone call? I sprang up out of bed abruptly and stampeded noisily down the stairs. He's awake. I'll put him on right now. My mother informed the person on the other end of the line. Hello. It's me. Who might this be? Adjust some levels. Ah ha 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 ha! That's such a cringy laugh, goddamn. Morning, Kiichi-kun. You're such a sleepyhead. Such a sleepyhead. Oh, Rena, what's up? Calling so early in the morning? Ah, I don't think it's so early. It's the middle of the day, you know. It was 11 o'clock. I guess you could loosely consider that the middle of the day. So what's up? Hold on a second. I'll put Mi-chan on now. Ohio. Oh man, so cringy. Goddamn. Kei-chan. If I were to say it in English, that'd be good morning. While we're at it, why don't you try saying it in Chinese, German, and Russian as well? Ni hao, Kei-chan. Guten Morgen, Kei-chan. Russian? Das Vidanya. How the hell should I know? What? Man, I hate doing these parts. Well, whatever. Gonna just... oh man. Well, whatever. This stupid conversation has awoken me. Ah ha 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 ha, that's good to hear. So, Kei-chan, you feel you free right now? If you're good, then we've got everybody. Everybody? Did you mean all the club members? That's right. Level's good. Everything good. You might be thinking, every day always ends in heated competition, but at least I can spend my day off peacefully. You're too naive, Kei-chan. Yeah. The aim of our club is to find the best solution for every situation. In other words, we don't care if it's the weekend. Ooh. It looks like Kei-chan has come to understand our club. So, how about it? Can you come? I had absolutely nothing planned that day. If I were to refuse Club President Mion's invitation, what other fun ways to pass the time would I have? It's not like I planned on doing anything. And if I say no, you'd probably just declare me the loser by default and force a penalty game on me anyways. If you understand that much, then you can't refuse, right? If you're okay with it, then meet at the usual place at 1 o'clock. We're going into town, so bring your bike, okay? Club activities in town? Well, we could do them anywhere. Besides, since it was a new venue, there was no way this wasn't going to be intense. I'm holding a pretty big grudge from the narrow loss a couple days ago. I'll say it right now, I'm not going to lose. A couple of days ago was Friday's club activities. The uncompromising poker match. It was a fight to the death. Nobody held back. Nobody could tell who was in the lead or who was last until all the points were tallied. In the end, I won only by 1 chip. Mion came in second. Damn it! To think if I hadn't squandered that 1 chip. Mion lamented thus, perhaps more so than the fact she lost the match. Mion doesn't lose. Mion. That's why Mion only whined when she let the champion's throne slip through her fingers. That's why she was more frustrated than anybody over a close loss. So, did she mean for today to be a grudge match? Bring it on! Just like last time, I'll shut you down and make you play that penalty game. Make sure you play in a way that you won't regret it when you lose. Wouldn't have it any other way. I'll make it all the more better when I crush you. After that, we exchanged jeers for a bit before hanging up the phone. As I headed back upstairs hastily to get the key to my bike, I bumped into my mother as she was carrying a futon down. "Oh, Keiichi, you seem like you're in a good mood. Heading out?" "Something like that." "I'm going to town to play with everybody. Take care. Watch out for traffic. Be back before dinner." Yeah, I'll be back by then." After unlocking the chain for my bike in the garage, I leveled a bit in the resistance the slightly stiff pedal gave as I pushed on it. Alright, let's go! I set off on my bike, cutting through the refreshing morning air. Keiichi-kun! You're late! Ah, sorry to keep you waiting. Huh? Where are Satoka and Rika-chan? Rather than meeting up with them here, it's a lot quicker to just meet up in town. Oh, I see. If I remember correctly, Sotoko and Rika-chan's houses were on the other side past the school. Oh yeah, what's up with doing club activities in town? It can't be that everybody's going to put on masks and rob banks all day, is it? I wouldn't mind doing that. Even then, I wouldn't lose to you. Hey, how's it going, Dissident One? You sure play some interesting games. Dude, have you ever heard of Higurashi? It's actually really good. I played chapter 1. It's, really? Okay, so, like, are you familiar with Silent Hill F? The new game in Silent Hill? Because, that game's writer also wrote this series. And, I just love chapter 1. It's a horror game, by the way, if you didn't know. So it's basically about like this main protagonist who comes back to his old town, and he reacquaints himself with his friends, but then he finds that there's a curse, and he finds that his friends are in on this curse, and everything you see murders and all this shit, and it just makes me interested in what's happening. How you been? Everything fine? I've been popping in into a couple of your streams as of late. Your setup is really good, by the way. Your setup is really damn clean. Anyway, I'm just gonna read on. You see, Michan always tells me the routes and schedules of the armored bank cars. I wonder why. What? I spun around with a serious look on my face and looked at Mion. Well, it certainly seemed possible that Mion was capable of doing that. Oh yeah, and by the way, like I set the graphics. These are the old graphics. I think this game came out in like the early 2000s. And I could set like the graphics. A return to menu. Where is it? Configure. So these are old graphics, right? I can set them to like the updated versions. But I just thought the originals were so wonky and so funny to look at. I also just enjoy visual novels. It's just a chill time. Like I played Doki Doki Literature Club not too long ago. I thought that was pretty good. Put them back. Put them back. Dude. I'm just gonna keep on with the old with these old designs. I just find them so fucking funny. So dated also. Way more character. I also seen you play some Nier Automata. How's the game going? How's the Nier? I can't speak. How's Nier Automata going, by the way? Is it getting good? Because I only peer in, peer out of your streams because I'm mostly working. Seriously, Mion. Rena? What are you saying? It's finally getting crazy. I'll be lurking. Yeah, I understand, man. No, Nier Automata is so good. Have you finished the first ending? Because I haven't gone back into the game as of late. I really need to actually go back and finish. Oh, now? Dude. The first ending, I mean, of course I won't spoil anything. I do like the first ending. I'm very curious for the other endings. But I just can't put myself to like play like the same game and finish the other endings. I've been doing a lot of side quests. That game has so many side quests, man. So many good side quests. But sometimes it becomes a little overbearing. Sometimes I just want to like play the story mode. I know, lol. Dude, that's the thing. It's like I have so much to do. Whenever I play a game like Nier Automata, where like there's so many side quests, it's just so overbearing. And I just tend to like stick with the main side quests and get it over with. But anyway, sorry, Michan. Sorry. Ahahaha. The two of them joked around. That bright laughter was the best match for a beautiful day like today. Hey, you two. Sotoko and Rika-chan are waiting for us, aren't they? Let's stop fooling around and get going. Around and around, fooling about like two fluttering butterflies. I earnestly wish I could just keep watching them like this. Man, it's kind of cringy saying that, my god. But the five of us together would be absolutely more fun. That's right. Well then, let's go. The goal is to plunder 1 billion. Once we split the loot, everybody scram. Yeah! I do have to say though, this game does kind of linger in like the slice of life. If you ever watch any slice of life anime, it's kind of has that, where it just kind of lingers on like just a lot of like normal shit until it gets to the plot. The three of us on our bikes headed over the gently sloping hill towards town. Accelerating hard, we crested the hill. The view expanded as Okinomiya Station came into sight. I occasionally come to the station here. Considering the amount of effort it takes to get here though, it was quite a hassle. That's why I didn't know much about the area around the station, or Okinomiya itself for that matter. The street we were headed down today was of course unfamiliar to me as well. Coming through the railway crossing, we headed past the south end of the station. This is the first time I've been this way. Around here, there's lots of things like arcades and toy stores. Michan knows a lot about it. So there's an arcade. I used to go to one pretty often. My gamer's blood roils within me. Always going to an arcade, Kie-chan? You're quite the delinquent. Next time we're here, I'll show you where it is. Oh yeah, and just for context, since this is chapter 2, these characters up on screen have already shown their bad side, their killer side. They already went, I think I remember in the first chapter, they both went into like the protagonist's house and literally like were threatening him. So the one on the left is just crazy, and the right one is crazy too, but calculating. If that makes sense. This game series is so weird. I'm just gonna say that. Next time we're here, I'll show you where it is. It's a good one. There's quite a few machines. It seemed like the town of Okinomiya was Mion's stomping grounds. If I asked her, she could tell me a lot of things about it. Eventually, we came across a store with quite a few bikes parked in front of it. Was this the arcade? No, it was a smaller shop. Looking at the Windows display, it seemed like your everyday toy shop. But for almost 10 kids to be filing in and out of the store, they were doing almost too well for themselves. Could it be that store is having some sort of event today? Exactly. Top prize is 50,000 yen. 50,000? What the heck is that? That's the GNP of the People's Republic of Keiichi 5 times over. Two cute figures messing around the front of the store noticed us and waved their hands. Dude, these designs, I swear. Oh, it looks so ridiculous. Hello everybody. We've been waiting for you. Good morning. Hey! Morning, Rika-chan. Sotoko, we'll settle this before the cops get here. I feel like such a weeb right now. The goal is to plunder 1 billion. Huh? Kei-chan, I have no idea what you're talking about. Are we late? Did we keep you two waiting? We finished early today, so we've been waiting a while. I'm sorry about that. You're good, thank you. I'm sorry about that, Kei-chan. Here was taking his sweet time. Well, if it was Kei-chan's fault, it couldn't be helped. Saying that, Rika-chan stretched up and began patting Myeon's head. Hey, wait a minute. Are you solving everything by making me the bad guy? Of course. Who else but Kei-chan-san could fill this important role? Oh ho ho ho. I don't like being cast like that. If you think that this will solve anything, you're sorely mistaken. I was feeling slightly irritated, so I began to repeatedly smack Satoko on the head. Smack, smack, oh my god, it's a bunch of action. Smack, 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 whatever. Kiki is bullying me. I'm not gonna do that. It's such a shame that Kichi's bullying you. Sotoko's crying, she's crying. I'm taking her home. Your big sis here will take care of the bad guy, okay? I forgot there's actual sound effects in this game. Rena ecstatically wiped the tears, which were probably fake, from Sotoko-kun's face, while Rika-chan gently patted mine as I lay sprawled on the ground. Yes, this is fine. Yep. This is the way things are supposed to be solved. Although, I think we should find a new punchline before you start losing teeth. Well then, upsy daisy. In any case, the greetings from today went well. Inside the toy shop, there were about 10 boys around the same age as me. Apparently they all knew Myeon, and finding out that she had arrived, they greeted her with jeers, a few at a time. Mi-chan is a regular at this toy shop, so she has a lot of friends. A regular at a toy shop, what's up with that? Hey, Kei-chan, take a look back here. Following Sotoko's prompting, I took a look. There were chairs lined up at tables, almost like some sort of birthday party. I realized immediately. It couldn't be. This is the venue for today's club activities? Surprise, Kei-chan? I'm good with friends with the owner here. He sometimes lets me hold game tournaments to expand his customer base. Expand his customer base. I see. Meaning, all the boys living up the place were participants. Living up the liver. That's right. Normally it's just us 5, but today we're gonna play with lots and lots of people. Rena was innocently happy about being able to play with so many people, but my expression grew noticeably stern. Kei-chan-san, I know exactly what you're thinking. Oh, well then why don't you try saying it together? Okay, 1, 2. These are all enemies. Sotoko's voice and mine blended together in harmony. We looked over at the participants. After all, the top prize was 50,000 yen. My eyes lit up like a flame. Hey, Kei-chan. It looks like today will be fun. Well, no matter how many more rivals I have, the goal is still the same. Rivals? Kei-chan, do you think a whale keeps track of all the krill it eats? She said that in an unpleasant voice, laughing with the aggressive glint in her eyes reserved solely for club activities. Damn it, Myeon. She's as serious as she can get today. I'm not the only one who's serious. Take a look at Rika-chan. Myeon pointed, looking at where her finger directed me. What the heck is that? Rika-chan was using those kind of traits to soften up the group with an almost excessive pleasantness. I'm also going to do my best. Go for it. Yay. Go for it. Yay. Completely emasculated, the group joined Rikan-chan in a cheer. The inside of the store had me consumed by the world of Rikan-chan. Damn, she's already chomping at the bit. It seems like today's going to be fun. I'm going to do my best. How... I don't know how to pronounce that. It seemed that Rena was almost unusually fired up by the large crowd. Hopping about and running around, she had entered entirely into cute mode. In Rena's case, the real fun starts when her tension gauge fills up. Her happy-go-lucky attitude belied the fact that this was the state in which she was the most threatening. Mion was making small talk with some of the regular customers she was acquainted with. It was like business as usual with her. Of course, if anybody thought that Mion looked ordinary, they were not qualified to be in our club. The shell beneath her feet was exuding killer instinct, rising up like a chill wind. Damn it, Mion. Throwing away her honor and humanity like that? She's serious. Keiichi-chan, didn't you know? The 50,000 yen prize is from the Mion-san's own pockets. The what? She was putting out the 50,000 yen all by herself. Oh shit. Shit. I didn't mean to do that. No. At that moment, a dark miasma that warped Mion's surroundings began to appear. What is it, Kei-chan? Is there something on my face? Eep! A shiver crept up my spine. That Mion, cornering herself like that. She was pulling out the demon lurking within her. Fine with me. Damn it. My nerves are shaking like crazy. Before I realized it, the store had filled up with even more people. However, the looks in their eyes weren't confrontational. They were looks of expectation and curiosity. They were the eyes of onlookers who were wondering what kind of match was going to occur, and who was going to win. You couldn't ask for a better stage than this. This is getting interesting. Kitchen-kun, let's do our best, okay? Do our best. How? Rena was already fully charged. Moral laws and common sense held no power before the might of Rena in the cube mode. I definitely didn't want to fight her, if possible. Rika-chan, do your best. We're all cheering you on. Okay, I'll do my best. Rika-chan, who was exuding way too much charm and no matter how you looked at it, had already won over most of the onlookers to her side. Nonchalantly avoiding these things had always been Rika-chan's creed, but for her to be blatantly laying out her machinations like this, something was definitely strange. Like Rena, she was somebody who I didn't want to fight if I could help it. Of course, the one you don't want to fight the most is Mion-san. I've been lucky to even leave alive more than a few times at the end of the club activities, but I don't think there was a day that even came close to being this dangerous. Mion-san seems to have developed quite the grudge after losing that poker match a few days back, you know? It seems that way. In other words, today is just an elaborate stage for revenge. Almost as though she was psychic, Mion turned towards us. Her eye silently conveyed the message. You guys just figured that out now? It wasn't just Mion. Both Rena and Rika-chan were more pumped up than they'd ever been. Yeah, one's gonna pop up today. Without a doubt, there'd be casualties. It seems that somehow Keiichi-san and I are the only ones left. What do you think? Should we not have our match during the opening round? Might as well. I need to warm up before I can really kick it into gear. My spinal column shuddered like it had been struck by a bolt of lightning, and like a pillar of ice was being jammed into it, began to freeze. I could almost see the flames backlighting Satoko with their intensity. Even then, while Satoko was displaying a normal smile, it was cold and inhuman, almost as if it were a plastic mask. Ha! You must really want to eliminate me in the opening round. You can't hide the murderer's intent. Oh, that's too bad. You're being uncharacteristically cautious today, Kiichi-san. Oh ho ho! Without a doubt, it was a trap. I don't know what she had up her sleeve, but if I fought with Satoko during the opening round, my loss would be more certain than if I went against Mion. A pitch-black miasma permeated the inside of the store. Did they all want to win that 50,000 yen prize that much? No, that's not right. The only ones competing for the prize money were the casual participants. I was different. I had mistaken this as just a way to fool around on a normal Sunday. It didn't matter when it was, or where it was, or who our opponents were. In our club, the goal is always the very top of the mountain. An intense flame that no strong winds could extinguish, hot enough to melt any steel, began to burn inside me. The fuse has been lit on this unprecedentedly intense club battle. It was then that the owner of the store told Mion in a lackadaisical voice that it was about time to begin. Is everybody ready? Listen close now. Mion began with the formalities, standing in for the owner, and explained the rules of today's tournament. You're only playing to win. There is no second or third place. That's the same rule as our club. There was 15 people participating. We were to split into 5 groups via a draw, and each group would have one winner. Each winner in the first stage would advance to the next in order to compete in the final. Gonna have some water. Gotta stay hydrated. Now, as for how each group will compete, each table can decide to play whatever they want. As long as the game is here in the shop, anything goes. Already in the club mode, DEFCON 1, I didn't let the small gap in the rules go unnoticed. Mion, can I ask a question? Won't everyone push to play a game they're good at? And not be able to agree on which one? Huh? That's right. If we can decide, we can start. The spectators also nodded along. It was only natural. There wasn't anybody who would simply cede in their opponent's suggestion. I'd prefer if you were all good sports and managed to come into a decision on your own. But if it comes to a stalemate, should we have the store's owners decide for you? It was an event at a toy store, after all. You'd expect the owner to referee. After that, Mion's rundown continued, and ended with the rule that any losing participants would have to buy the game they lost at, a rather nice proposition for the store. First, we used a draw to split into 5 groups. Everybody lined up single file and began to draw tickets that the shop owner had prepared. It was my turn. Alright, time to draw. No matter who I was up against, I'd crush him! At that moment, Mion began to laugh with a hawkish gleam in her eye. Of course, I'm sure you already know, but club members will have a separate penalty game than the casual participants. Excuse me. Ha, I thought as much. What's the gist of it? The winner gets to give the losers 1 order each. Contrary to how simple it sounded, it was terrifying eventually, the subject of which no one could predict. Damn you, Mion. Was she really planning on parading me around Hinamizawa? Oh shit. Hinamizawa in cat ears and a banana hammock with a tail attached or something? The look on Mion's face told me. Let me lower this down a bit. She wasn't going to let me off that easy. Off of that, this time, it wasn't just the person who finished last who'd have to submit to the penalty game. The losers get the one order each. In other words, even if you don't finish last, you still have to do a penalty game. That'd be the case. What if there's no winner? Like if all the club members drop out midway through? Kid-chan, are you alright in the head? What? The look in Mion's eye became that of a lion bearing its fangs. How exactly are the elite members of our club going to lose to some mewling newborns? Ki-chan, don't embarrass me by getting eliminated in the first round. Even so, I didn't feel threatened. The more into it my opponent was, the stronger I would become. You just wait and see. I won't just sit here and be bullied by you, Mion. I'll show you. We shall meet in the finals. The results of the draw were enough to make you cry conspiracy. As the members of the club were nicely divvied up amongst the 5 tables. How did this happen when the draw was that random? The thought that I was already caught in Mion's puppet strings made me feel uneasy. That was fine though. I'll crush all your petty tricks. Now, where were my opponents? Everybody was headed to the table corresponding to the number on their ticket. The competition at my table was these two, huh? They look younger than me. Huh? Aren't you 2 classmates of mine? Oh, hi. I'm Tomita. This is Okamura. Okamura-kun greeted me by nodding his head. So my opening round was to be against my juniors from school. Just saying, but it seemed like a pretty easy matchup. Luckily. Time to destroy them without mercy. Alright then, everybody, please decide on your games and start. With Mion's declaration, the inside of the store suddenly became lively. Everybody was yelling their favorite games at each other, trying to gain an advantage before they started. Even my 2 classmates, who seemed taciturn at first glance, began so fiercely fiercely insist on their own games as soon as the signal was given. Of course, I would kick those suggestions aside. There was absolutely no reason to pick a game your opponent was good at. Sorry, they're all games I don't know. Could you pick something a little more well known? Of course, they didn't agree to the games I suggested either. I could only smirk bitterly. Naturally, after 5 minutes, this table still couldn't agree on a game. Obeying the rules, we asked the store owner to decide on a game. Clearing his throat, the shop owner brought over a board game from the back of the store. It was a game called Billionaire. Quite the vintage we have here. Come to think of it, if you lose, you have to buy this game. That damn shop owner, was he using this competition to get rid of all the games he couldn't sell? I know this one. You guys do too, right? Spin the wheel and head to the goal. Whoever has the most money after we liquidate our assets is the winner. The 2 nodded in agreement, and finally the game was underway. At that time, I already had a feeling of impending crisis. I wouldn't realize why until the game progressed a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Celebrate the birth of your child. Receive 5,000 from everybody. Sorry. Okay, I built a bit of a lead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bonus! Receive 100,000 from the bank. What? The tables were turned in an instant. 1, 2, 3. Proceed to the corporate ladder course. Whoa, that's a good route. It seemed like only my piece was landing on the steady spaces. I had doubts as to why Mion didn't bring out board games for club activities, but that reason was laid bare to me before my eyes. That's right. I had only realized it now. This game was completely based on luck. What could I possibly do to make sure I ended up in first place at the end? The ultimate outcome of this game was decided in a place beyond human hands. How were the other club members doing? My eyes naturally wandered off to the other tables. Mion's table was... what? They weren't doing anything? Had they still not decided on a game? This naive idea existed to distract me from the most frightening possibility. Mion was lounging about, leisurely holding some juice she bought from the vending machine outside in one hand. When our eyes met, she gave me a look of ease. It couldn't be. She'd already finished? What game was it? That easily? It was probably too late to be concerned with that at this point. Only 5 minutes since we started, and her two opponents were already beyond recourse. They were sitting there, slumped over in disappointment, muttering to themselves, trying to figure out where they went wrong. For that, they'd find no answer. Was there any reason for the defeat other than they sat at the same table as Mion? Then, what about Rena's table? The spectators were causing quite a commotion. It looked like their game was Karuta. The shop owner was apparently the one reading out the cards. Rena tended to dawdle along and space out a lot. Wouldn't she have a hard time with this game? Then I'll read it out. The dog gets tired on a walk. At the same instant, the shop owner began sounding out the words. The card in question disappeared off the face of the table. No, the face of the earth. Impossible! Where did it go? It was against Rena's cheek. She was rubbing it there. Oh, goddamn! So cute. I'm taking it home. Looking at the card Rena was rubbing against her cheek, it was some anime-themed version of Karuta, with rather cute moe illustrations decorating the cards. Basically, it was a picture of a pretty doll girl with a slightly large chest, panting and half in tears as she was being pulled along on a chain. With those types of pictures, even I could play with godlike speed. Of all people to play that game, it had to be Rena. It was entirely possible that her fingertips were on the verge of breaking the sound barrier. Thanks, man. I'm having a lot of fun, honestly. I like doing this. It's over. Mion smiled coolly. Seeing no further reason to keep watching, she turned back. So cute, so cute. Even if Rena wins, I still buy these cards. I'm taking them home. After that, the second... what the hell? After that, the second the card started being read out, bam, bam, such decisive sounds echoed. Well then, how about Satoko? Oh, she was playing a rather orthodox game. Concentration. Judging from the distressed look on Satoko's face, it seemed that she was struggling somehow. One of the main characteristics of concentration is that the pace of the game speeds up as it goes on. As the number of cards to memorize decreases, it becomes easier to match several pairs in a row. It wouldn't be exaggeration to say that the first person to take over the flow of the match can run away as the winner. The cards still in play had decreased. If you memorize the cards that had been turned over before, you should have a good chance to sweep the table at this point. Satoko probably knew the positions of all the remaining cards. However, her turn came a little too late. If her opponent followed up, the match would be decided. Hojo, sorry, but I'm aiming for the prize money. Don't hate me for this. This guy, did he have the locations of the remaining cards memorized? He was completely certain of his victory. The tension on his face relaxed. It's over. I whispered that in a bored manner as I turned my attention back to my own game. I spun the wheel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? No way. The Ace of the Hearts should have been here. There was a commotion at Sotoko's table as the shout rang out. The other two at my table turned around in surprise. I didn't. After all, there really wasn't anything to be surprised about. The onlookers were confounded, most of them certain that the Ace of Hearts should have been there. There's no way. I must be seeing things. It must have been because I was excited. So assured in my victory, the distress over his defeat ran deep. That's how it is. If his opponent wasn't Sotoko, then the Ace of Hearts certainly wouldn't have been there. What a fool. When you're up against Sotoko, you can't let your guard down for a moment until the battle is over. Kei-chan, you still haven't finished your match? You have no sense for these things. With a refined tone of voice reserved for only winners, Sotoko called out to me. For the casual observer, it must have looked like she only eked out victory. From a point of view, however, she was only playing around. The roles of winner and loser had already been decided. It was nothing more than child's play. The laughable part about it was that her opponent didn't know his role had already been assigned. Nice work there, setting up a farce of a trap with the Ace of Cards. My opponent only walked into one of my traps. Even then, one was more than enough. Sotoko was a trapper. Her true talent was never having one misfire. Setting off only one trap was more than enough. Ain't that cool? The fact that the other club members were winning one after another with their own brand of play would only add to my impatience and my own lack of progress. Alright, how was Rika-chan doing? How was our club's Fly Little Fox doing? What the heck is that? Over in that corner, the mood at the table was decidedly different from the others. The game at Rika-chan's table was, you know that battery-powered fishing game? The one where the fish opened and closed their mouths as they rotated on the platform, and you use a magnetic fishing rod to pick them up? That old thing? It seemed they planned on competing by seeing who could catch the most fish, but it had become an atmosphere you could hardly call competitive. Wow, I caught one. You're so good. Rika-chan, you're good at this. Oh my, she caught another one. Rika-chan is really good at this. I knew that Rika-chan had already charmed her opponents, along with the onlookers, before the matches had even begun. But, brilliantly played. That corner had become an informal meeting of the Rika Furude fan club. It's Rika-chan's total victory! Total victory! Rika-chan's good at fishing, isn't she? What Rika-chan is trawling for probably isn't fish. Hearing that, she glanced over my way briefly. This is my way of getting serious. That's what I heard. This is a masterful technique that only Rika is allowed. Only Rika can do. Yeah, and a masterful technique. Mayabara-san, it's your turn. Oh, sorry. Guess it is. 1, 2. Fine for tax evasion. Pay $50,000. In contrast, my game. What an unseemly situation this was. Noticing that uneasiness creeping across my face, my companions came to see how I was doing. Huh? Keiichi-kun, could it be you're struggling? You're struggling. Okamura, right now? How much money do you have? Okamura, who has wrung lots of money out of the lead course, began to count through a stack of white $100,000 bills. About 980,000, I guess. How much money do you have, Tomita? I have 180,000. I'm still close enough to turn this around. Those two, it looked like they would easily surpass $1 million. Well, Keiichi-chan, how much do you have? Mia's tone of voice was grim from the get-go. Was her disappointment discussed as club president? It can't be helped. There's no strategy involved other than spinning the wheel in this game. How am I supposed to cheat? Tell those two to close their eyes and count to 100 while I rig the wheel. You know there's no way I can do that. Rika-chan gently petted my head. Still, she wasn't too happy. How pathetic. At one point I thought you'd be a worthy adversary. I've been utterly disillusioned. Don't give up, Keiichi-kun. There has to be some sort of way to make a comeback. Do your best. Right to the end. Like I said, how am I supposed to make a comeback with the game relying entirely on luck? Right, Mion? Mion's face, however, was almost unbelievably indifferent, like she was watching something completely unexciting. She didn't turn her back without saying a word. Huh? Hey, me. It was a pathetic voice that irked even myself. I'm disappointed. Everybody was serious about this, but Keiichi-chan was the only one who wasn't. What do you mean by serious? Are you telling me to control the spinner through the sheer force of will? How can I do that? If you were serious about it, you would have settled the game 10 seconds from when you started. Mi-chan, you don't have to get so angry. Wait. Mion, in a bad mood, cast me aside and disappeared into the depths of the shop. Maybe it was because it had become an awkward situation, but the spectators dispersed from around my table. Damn it! Are you saying I'm not serious about this? Are you saying if I were serious, I would have settled the game of chance in 10 seconds? If I were serious, everybody was praying for my victory. They believed in me. Did I betray their expectations? Was it because I wasn't serious? Ugh. Should we continue the game? The two of them were timidly trying to resume play. I didn't respond to that. The table sunk into silence. Mayabara-kun, should I take that to mean you're giving up? The owner, thinking I was forfeiting, started to announce the cancellation of the game. Yeah, man. My voice is kind of getting a little raspy. I think I'm only gonna play for only 5 more minutes. I'll call it quits. It's getting a little late. But thanks for telling me that. I was getting lost in the sauce. The owner, thinking I was forfeiting, started to announce the cancellation of the game. At that moment, the demon inside me let loose a howl and awakened. I get it now, Mion. What it means for me to be serious. I'll show you. One time I did a visual novel stream, and yeah, what visual novel was it? I'm curious. But now for like talking for this much, even for like a stream, honestly, because there'll be pauses now and again. It does wear on your voice. Bam! I climbed my hands on their shoulders, speaking in a low voice after pulling them closer. Tomita-kun, Okamaru-kun, let's make a deal. Let me win. The two of them, not immediately understanding what I had just said or the meaning behind it, were momentarily confused. It was a dating sim, but I did voices. Dude, oh my god! I have to tell you this one time in my while I was at university. Me and my friend were playing a visual novel, and it was just me, and like we were at like it's called the Sub. It's just a place where a lot of like people hang around, right, at university. So it was a public place, and I was just reading off what the visual novel was, And most visual novels, generally, are very well. Some of them can be weird, right? And they're dating sims, some of them. And man, I didn't. I was so shameless. There's some shit that I said that I don't think I would say just like anywhere other than like with a group of people that like know what I'm doing. You know. It, it was called "I Love You, Colonel." Oh my god, I have yet to play that. I really need to get that game. I heard about it. It's crazy. I mean, you already know, but man, I have to get more into like weird or like yeah, weird visual novels. I know there's that one where it's like an anti-visual novel. Forgot what it was called. Well, an anti dating sim. But nah, playing fucking Colonel Sanders, that visual novel, man, it's fucking such a weird game. Visual novels are so interesting, man. The the way, yeah, it's free. Oh shit, I should fucking get it then, man. Okay. Hey, Mayor Barasan, no violence. Let's settle this game properly. Just listen to what I have to say. What is it you guys want? The 50,000 yen prize? Well, of course. Winning that kind of money is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Even supposing you win, what are you going to do with that money? How are you going to enjoy it? The two of them considered it briefly. Buy a new game or something. Snacks? Maybe some juice. That's petty. So petty. Are you guys stupid? Then how will you enjoy it if you win? Maribara-san. Me? That's the point. Just shut up and listen to what I have to say. We club members have a penalty game separate from the casual participants. If we lose, we have to obey a single command from the winner. From another point of view, the winner earns the prize of being able to order the other club members around. Oh, it's on Steam? Yeah, definitely have to get it, man. I can't remember what visual novel me and my friend played, but it was one where she got off of like I think off of Patreon, and it is yet to be completed. Um, I don't know if it's completed yet. I have to search it up, but it was one of those where it was like I don't know what you would call it. It's like a oh shit. It was one of those visual novels where it's like you like a lot of like what's it called? I don't know. It wasn't like a dating visual novel. It was like it's just like a stalker visual novel where like someone stalks you and is in love with you. I forgot what it was. It was fucking crazy, kind of gross. Not gonna lie. Okay, so 11:51. You know what? I'll just end it off for today. This has been actually pretty fun. Thanks for watching my stream. Yeah, it's kind of horrorish. You basically put. Oh man, I forgot like what character. I think it's a visual novel about like you the protagonist and you talk with this stranger or whatever, and he keeps stalking you, and he like tries to like get with you or whatever, and you either have to appease him because he will kill you, or try your best to solutionize, because you can die in the game. You have to try your best to like not make him kill you, which is I mean that's kind of an interesting concept. It's kind of morbid, I know that, but yeah, have a good one.